Hello there, this is Keough, and I have footage for you from two training sessions. The first one is from a squat session that I did not yesterday, but the day before, and the second set of footage is from a deadlift session that I did today. So, because this is a long video and I have a lot of clips, I'm not going to do inner titles at the bottom, giving the weights for these working sets, so I'll just explain exactly what I'm working with on each set. This right here is 335 for a set of 3. I did this for 2 sets of 3, and then 350 for a set of 3, which you'll see. I ended up filming from the side. I had been talking to somebody very briefly on YouTube about my depth, and got kind of curious about it, so I figured I'd film from the side for this session. And my interpretation of how these look is that they're all very close. I think I break parallel on most of them, but they're very close, and I could probably sink them, well, not probably, I could sink them deeper. I probably should sink them deeper just to make them clearly past parallel. So that's something that moving forward I'm going to work on a little bit. I'm going to try and be a little bit more attentive to it. I don't need to go nuts with it, but I do need to try and drop into the hole a little bit faster and squat these a little bit deeper. It does tell me that some of the previous training sessions that I was having, in which I was really trying to control my eccentric and look like I was squatting higher than this, those were all probably high. So it's something that I have to be careful about, and it's something that I have to really work on. Overall, not unhappy with the depth. I don't think it's, I think most of them, again, are past parallel, but it's very close. And, I mean, we're talking about, if it's past parallel, it's past parallel by like a hair. I mean, it's not clearly past parallel. You know, I never want to miss a lift due to depth, so I have to be careful about that. Anyway, those work sets moved well. 350 for 3 moved well and moved pretty fast, and so that was the third set that you saw, and I was really happy about the bar speed on it when I watched the video. Again, I need to continue to work on the depth. Here I am warming up for my deadlift day. You saw 275, that was 315. This right here is 365. Did sets of 3 working up. Tried a new style for this deadlift session. I tried to get my knees to track a little bit more forward. I tried to crowd the bar a little bit more, and I tried to set my hips a little bit higher. So I was really focusing more on thoracic engagement and on getting a fast start off the floor, and I felt like to an extent I was able to achieve that. Really looking at trying to improve bar speed around my knees. That's where I feel like I'm really lacking right now. And that's something I'm really trying to emphasize as I pull these. What we did find in the first 2 sets is that because I was focused so much on trying to pull through the movement as quickly as possible, I was really shortchanging my lockout. And it's something I've been doing for a while now. Originally I did it because I didn't trust my back. Now I'm doing it just because I'm thinking so much about speed that I'm inadvertently cutting off the end of that movement. And so after the second set, I tried really hard to focus on the lockout a little bit, well, a lot more than I was before. So I tried to hold it for, you know, a full 1 count, or sometimes less than a 1 count. But I just wanted to hold it at the top and really flex my glutes and make sure my hips were pushed through. That was really my intention when I was pulling these last 3 sets. And felt like focusing on that took away from the bar speed a little bit. But I feel like it's important for me right now to just really get my technique dialed in, and then I can reintroduce speed once I feel a little bit more comfortable with it. So ultimately, these last 3 sets in which I really focus on the lockout, they felt good. All of the work feels very easy. It's just a matter of getting my bar speed to really return so that I know that I'm back in the upper 500s as a deadlifter again. And last 2 sets I ended up just doing them back to back because somebody was waiting for the deadlift bar, so I figured rather than drag this out, I'd get them done. So instead of editing those, instead of splitting those clips up, I figured I'd just post them in here together. It's a long video anyway, so what the heck. But again, all the sets felt pretty good. I felt very happy about my technique. I felt like I was doing a better job of getting bar speed off of the floor, which was my goal for this day. But I also feel like I still have a lot of things to work on and a lot of things to figure out, and that will come with time. I have one more session on Sunday, and then I have a deload week, and then we're starting what is supposed to be a pretty intense macro cycle. So really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to rebuilding my deadlift again. So I get questions every so often about what I do for assistance work, and I figured I would film at least a few sets from my assistant stuff and post it up into this video so that people could see a few of the things that I do. My training is very simple as far as assistance goes. It's usually 2 to 4 exercises per training session. Start with bigger compound movements. I move down to smaller single joint or isolation movements. I do all of the important muscle groups. I train by need, but I also make prehab a focus when I'm doing my assistance training. I do all the simple things that most everybody else does. There's nothing really too special. Those were standing good mornings for a set of 8. I'm just now starting doing those again because my back is allowing me to do it. So I was just messing around with those. They felt pretty good, so I pushed them a little harder. After I did the standing good mornings, I did my glute ham raises, and my hamstrings at that point were pretty taxed from the standing good morning, so the glute ham raises didn't go great. But this is just my first set of glute hams. I only ended up doing 2, and this is a set of 12. And when I do my glute hams, I just focus on keeping my hips fully extended throughout the entirety of the movement. At bottom position, I'm trying to plank as much as possible, and I really only want one hinge point, and that one hinge point is at my knees. I feel like my hamstring activation is the best when I do them this way. I don't do a back extension, I don't hinge at the hips. I feel like it takes away from hamstring activation, and that's kind of, I mean, for me, that's the purpose of doing the movement. So I try and do them as strict as possible. After that, did some pull-ups. After pull-ups, did some external rotations, and that was it for my assistance for this day. So this is just one set of pull-ups. I ended up doing a couple more. This was done with the neutral grip. I rotate between different pulling movements. I do them 1 or 2 times a week. Again, it's all very standard stuff, but now that I'm in this quiet gym, this private space, I can film some of it. So anyway, keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon.